All right, welcome to another Crossroads podcast with the soloist. What's up, brother?
Oh, not much, man. This year's been I don't know, it's kind of been kind of wild, a little bit eye-opening.
What, just
Um,
life recently?
oh yeah, just everything. I didn't think that it was going to be really a progressive year for me really at all with,
Mm-hmm.
everything that's going on in the crazy world of the pandemic and all that.
Yeah, true that. Well, I seen you were getting out and about. You were traveling a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, went to Salt Lake City with it normal uh
Oh, you guys went
for
together.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I caught that in our conversation.
Yeah, he originally I went out to the Stoner Jordan Fest, um, and it was crazy out there. It was kind of cool because they had like a spray paint artist,
Uh-huh.
and when people would do their sets, the art would change progressively.
Oh, so they would do a new piece each set?
Yeah, yeah,
Dope.
and he did this all with like spray paints, and it was really cool.
OG.
Um, yeah, it
Street style.
was. Exactly. And then I told him about it, and we decided to go to the Utah Dabs Fest
Mm-hmm.
uh, the second go around. And I mean, that one was crazy too. And exact same thing. He would do a different, but this time he only did it on the inside. There's
Mm.
actually a mural that they painted on the outside that ended up being Liquid Joe's, and then there's a little Stoner Jordan logo underneath it.
Oh, nice. Where was
Yeah.
it at?
It was at Liquid Joe's in Salt Lake City.
Oh, that's the. Is it like Liquid Joe's? What is this place? Is it like a vape shop or something?
No, it's a bar.
Oh, so it's a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
They've
cool.
got like a big inside
Liquid
stage.
Joe's. I don't know. I was thinking vape. What the heck?
Well, I thought the exact same thing. I thought the exact same thing, and then it was kind of funny because if you like look at pictures on the internet, it actually looks like it was like maybe like an old 50s or 60s diner at one point.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just got that look or an appeal with how you pull up to it and everything. But they had two stages going. Um, you could only smoke on the outside, of course. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was great energy all around.
Oh yeah, cause it's in Utah. He's from. Is he from
Mhm.
Utah then?
No, he's from Arizona.
Utah Dabs was the thing you went to though, huh?
Yeah, it was
Huh.
for 710. It's a dab thing because 710 is oil.
Oh yeah, I learned
Yeah.
that recently. I'm like, geez, man, I must be getting old or something.
No, I didn't know it was a thing either until I got invited to it, and I was like, huh, all right, yeah. I had a good time the first go around. Uh,
I
the
remember
second,
seeing that online. The first one you
yeah,
went to,
yeah, the
and then
first one was
again.
really good. Um, they had Joey Cool from Strange Music.
Was that
It's
before COVID, or was
no,
it?
it was during, and depending on where you went in Utah, I mean, you either had to mask up. Like a lot of small businesses, they were pro mask. It was
Right.
it was definitely interesting. I mean, you could tell though that we drove around, me and my wife, because she went both times. The second
Oh,
time
nice.
because restrictions had lifted, we actually took the kids with us the second time. They just hung out
Oh,
at the
nice.
hotel when I did the sets or whatever, but we made a vacation out of it. We got to go to the aquarium. That was really fun.
Dude, that's what's up. How's the fam then?
Oh, they're great, man. Ramon, he's 5 now. He's just started preschool. He loves school.
Nice.
Willow, she's fifth grade. They both love school. So,
Dude. Yeah, kids are the best.
oh,
Dude,
I
oh,
know.
that's that one, that shirt. I did that graphic for you a long time ago, huh?
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah. I also did stickers of them too.
Oh, nice. You're chomping the CD?
Yeah,
Yeah. Dude, that was
yeah.
dope.
These were actually done by Atomic CD.
Atomic CD.
Yeah, they're
I don't think I've ever used them.
distribution. Yeah, I heard about him through Tory North actually,
Nice.
and then uh
He has a podcast
they
too, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it's Tory Talks or something. But
Yeah, I need to hit him up.
um yeah, it was funny though because they sent me a web link because I just signed up for their newsletter, completely forgot about them, and then they had a really good deal on T-shirts. You could only just do it a basic style, and this one had the best look out of the three options that I had. But their turnaround time was actually really good considering COVID was going on. I think it only took them 3 weeks.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm starting to get into making merch. We just started doing some screen printing stuff, and
oh, nice.
so I'm hoping to get better at it to, maybe one day make it available for other people.
Right.
So I'll be like, yo, yeah, I could do a batch for my homie. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
it would be nice for sure. It just merch, man. You know the hustle.
Oh
It's
man, it's
even
tough.
just to represent yourself, though. It's good to get it out there, and well, the soloist. So I've always kind of wondered that too, about your name, like why you chose the soloist.
Um, it's just I don't know. It kind of just came to me as far as it goes
You've
because
always been like a
I've got
lone, just rolling solo.
yeah, basically. I mean, I've got a lot of friends and stuff like that, but usually when it comes to like even just being at shows, I'm usually there by myself. My wife will show up too, but
Yeah, you
usually for
guys
the
always
most
be
part,
going out to
yeah,
shows, which is good.
yeah. No, this year was kind of crazy. Like I said, I didn't think that I'd really be doing any shows, and it led to a couple of good things as far as me being able to progress in music. For a while there, I had like this wicked writer's block.
Mm,
Um,
it happens.
yeah, it's just been crazy. I mean, usually in some way, shape, or form, I could at least express myself, but this I think it was just dealing with the changes of being sober as far as not being on any alcohol.
Yeah. How long
um
you been sober now?
2 years actually.
Nice.
So
Congratulations, bro.
thank you,
That is a
thank you.
feat.
It is it's
Hallelujah. Dude, it's
it,
been 4 months for me now.
awesome, awesome.
And I'm
Yeah,
thinking
no,
I'm
it's
pretty. I have failed in the past and relapsed, but I'm feeling pretty strong this time because I'm like, it's just way different this time. I don't really want to drink. How has it been for you, though? Even the drinking?
um for me it's actually been really good. I thought I'd do a lot worse, especially doing shows at bars
What do you
because
do
it's
there? Do you just have water? You have a non alcoholic?
yeah, usually I'll have water. If they've got any soda there, try to stay away from the energy drinks just because they're way more expensive, and you don't want to really be sugared up and then dehydrated.
Right.
So, but yeah, I usually try to stick to water if they've got it.
Way to be, bro. That's a great change to make in your life. Like,
Yeah, it's been a lot
it's
better
not
for me.
easy for a lot of people, too.
No, it's not. I thought it would be a lot harder, especially when we went to those two festivals, just because um, not being there. And I feel like that was always kind of one of my things is, before even going on set, I'd always
Mm.
make sure that I had a drink or
Me
two
too, bro.
or three.
Whew. Liquid courage. I'd be like,
Yeah,
I'm nervous.
yeah,
I even be
yeah,
getting nervous to call you on this call.
yeah.
I'm like,
No,
yo, it's my boy, though. Tito.
yeah, no. This and for me, this is the first podcast, so it's kind of just like, oh man, this is different. So,
This is my 21st one I've done on this Crossroads one, I think.
oh man, that's
So
awesome.
I'm
Congrats, man.
stoked.
That's awesome.
Hey, thanks, bro. I'm trying to reconnect with the world. I go through them phases of life, like you say, like writer's block or just blocking off the world,
Exactly.
and then just having to pull yourself out of that. So, I mean, what really, because the drinking thing, we'll get back to your music stuff, but this is a big thing for me too, and
Right.
it's great to connect with you about it because In my mind, I'm like, well, I need to be connected with more people like Tito. They're like, hey man, I'm choosing not to drink. So why did you choose not to drink?
I came to the realization one night after me and my wife got into a big fight that it just brings out the worst in me.
I feel you
The
there, bro. Me
the,
too. Ugh.
the literal absolute worst. Um,
Sometimes it
and
would change me to a person I didn't even know who that was.
exactly, and that's the exact same thing. Is I'd become this person that was just exactly not who I am or who I know I can be. And I don't know, it's just one of those things where I if I was having a good time, I'd be having a good time. But if something went wrong, even if it was something as simple as, oh, I lost $1 bill somewhere, or, tripped, skip my knee or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I'd let that basic little thing ruin the whole night
Right.
and
Yeah.
then
I
spiral
know how that is.
360, you
Yeah,
know?
it doesn't help, even when life's hard anyways. You want
Hmm.
to turn to a drink to like deal with it. Be like, oh man, I'm kind of sad about something. I'd be like depressed, and then turn
Well,
to
and
a
that's the
drink to
thing
like
too is
fix it, and then it would be like, oh, I'm band-aiding it, but I'm actually making it worse.
exactly, you're band-aiding it, making it worse. And the thing is for me, I don't know how it was for you, but it actually snuck up on me and I didn't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go from having maybe like a beer once every 2 weeks, and then once a week, and then
Oh,
here
for
I'm
sure.
having it twice a day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no,
you
for me, yeah,
know
okay, because I would go through, I would hit that binge point where I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm overdoing it.
yeah,
Especially before I had kids, it'd be like, party on, party all night
exactly.
long. And then
uh,
when it's like, okay, I gotta mature, I'm gonna tone it down. And even after quitting drinking, and then when I would go through a relapse personally, because I've quit like 3 times, or this is my third time quitting. And the first time, I was like, well, maybe I can just have a drink on a Friday night at the end of the week. So I tried that, and then, like you say, it just snuck up on me. It slowly snowballed where I was like, then it became the full weekend, and then it became all week long, every day. Yeah.
exactly. and
Mm-hmm.
and that's the worst part is the for me, this would be the second time. The first time was actually after I got my second DUI because I didn't learn the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst part is when they teach you in class, they actually teach you that in moderation. So it's almost like that little bug gets planted in your head, and
Enticing.
yeah, exactly. So you have to almost take that. For me, I have to take that out completely. For me, it's like, no, there is no, you can't just have a shot every once in a while. At least that's how it is for me. That's how I
Yeah.
have to treat it
Me
for
too.
for me to stay away from it, because it's one of those things of, how many times have you told yourself that, oh, just one, and then it turns into more than just one, and the next thing you know, you're back where you're at.
Yeah, and if I can't just have one even for that night, because
Exactly.
I'll
Me either.
drink all of it
Yep.
all night long till it's gone, and then I'll probably still want more if I'm not already asleep, or just yeah, it's a strange thing, but I'm really proud to hear that you have like I don't say proud, I'm just like, dude, it's awesome. You're an inspiration.
Thank you.
I'd see you doing that and it inspired me, and I was like, man, Tito did it, and first of all, I've always believed in you no matter what. You from
Thank you,
Great
bro.
Falls?
Yep. Born and raised.
Yeah, and so I'm born and raised in Great Falls. I'm like, yo, this is my dude, you know, hometown homies. I don't think I even met you till later in life, huh?
Yeah, no. And it's kind of crazy too, because I think we went to Great Falls High, both around like the same years. So
We just
It's
never
kind of
really hung out back then. I think
yeah.
it was the underground hip hop scene that got us connected, huh?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I haven't been out to any of the alumni festivals in a while. Did you go to them this last year?
No, it was kind of too last minute, and then with everything going on, I really couldn't afford to take the time off. Uh,
Right.
because I'm still working and everything, and uh, really with it just being last minute, it was kind of just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, and then going out to Utah, um, as far as travel and hotel, that costs money, so I did
Well,
make
yeah,
a
for sure.
I did make a good amount of merch sales, which was awesome out there because I left a little
Dope.
piece there. But
Yeah, for
at the
sure.
same, but at the same time, it was just like, eh. And I mean, I heard the turnout was still pretty good. So
Oh,
I
yeah, I think that was just probably one of the networks. When I first met you, I don't even think alumni was a thing. Maybe it was. Getting started.
I think it was getting started.
Because you
I
were
can't.
back. Because Peanut Butter Cartel
Mm-hmm.
back then.
Yep, that was back during the old Flu Nation days. Yeah.
Flu Nation, yeah. That was. Yeah, because you were rocking with Flu Nation too, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Those guys still rapping. I see them online a little bit. They don't do their
You,
group anymore.
you know, I don't know what any of them are doing anymore. I know uh J, uh
They
Jay
can probably
Greasy or
still
Jay
rap.
Wayne. He's still around. He's working.
Put
But
your
as far as
foes
music,
up. Put your. Was
yep,
that what you guys
holds
would
up.
always do? Foes up. Yeah.
Yep, yeah, it was great. But oh man, those were the good old days.
Dude,
That
I know.
was
I'm
that
like,
was back
yeah,
when
yeah, shit.
that
I am getting old. I say that
yeah.
now.
That was back when Machinery Row was still open, and
Machinery Row was
well,
cool. Yeah.
and then there was also do you remember the 406 Club,
Yeah.
Old
For
North Bowling
oh,
Alley?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I played one show there with. I had like a kind of an acoustic band going on with Nintendo, my homie Tyson,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and
Yeah,
Chatterbox.
I went to school with his little brother.
Oh yeah. Um, his name is. He goes by
Tanner.
Lunchbox. Yeah, Tanner Lund.
Yeah, it goes
Yeah.
by Lunchbox, yeah.
Yeah, small world, man. But it's good to stay connected. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
better at it now. It's. I'm stoked that we're able to do this.
Yeah,
Hey,
no, me
Chad.
too.
Thanks for doing it. I did
Exactly.
Capo. You commented on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I saw Capos, I saw Abnormals.
Abnormal, yeah. It was. I've never met Abnormal in person. I don't think.
Oh dude, he's a dope homie. I actually had him up here for the last show that I did, which was Eternal of the Killer Bees or the East Coast Killer Bees or whatever.
Wait,
Um
recently?
no, this was back before COVID.
Oh, oh, okay, yeah. What, Nickelby?
No, I didn't do it through Nickelby. It was just here in Great Falls.
Oh, I wonder
Capo
who
was
was
like the
putting it on.
oh it was me. It
Oh,
was
it
it
was
was all out
you.
of
You were hosting
yeah,
it.
it was all out of pocket. We did it over. We were supposed to actually do it at oh I can't Street Team Custom Shop, and
Oh,
then
that's right.
something fell through, so we ended up having to move it over to the Alumni Club.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that was actually how the first time I met up normal. Um, I don't know. Do you know uh Paul Lewis?
It's yeah, it sounds familiar. I think we've been connecting online. I just can't picture his face right now.
He goes by DJ Smooth. He was actually the one
Okay.
that originally introduced me to Abnormal.
He DJs in Great
Um,
Falls? Or no?
no, he's in Missoula.
Okay.
He hasn't DJ'd in a minute. I think at least 4 years now.
I
So,
haven't
but
been
he
doing
was
much any live stuff. I mean, the gear up for next year. You want to go on tour one day? Is that do you still Have thoughts of that, or
Yeah,
what are your thoughts? Just curious.
yeah, I do want to go on tour. For me, it's just kind of figuring out uh how to, I guess, get the right marketing, you know?
Marketing, I'm trying to become better at it myself, and I'm trying to help. I'm gonna try and make a few more advice videos. I like to check things out like Smart Rapper. You hear a Smart Rapper?
Uh-uh.
It's a cool guy you could check out on YouTube. He makes like advice videos for independent
Okay.
rappers.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check him out. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just the playing field as far as algorithm and
Mm,
everything just changes so much, and
yeah,
even when you look at Facebook nowadays, to even get access to any of your fan base, you have to pay something.
I know it's crazy. It's otherwise you have to have some sort of. That's why I'm trying to do a little bit more of stuff like this,
Right.
and I'm gonna try to do some like the Cipher project. You got a beat for that one? I sent you the beat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You sent me the beat. I should have something back to you probably by next Wednesday or Thursday.
Righteous, bro.
Um,
Yeah, it's
so
as I'm gonna try to collaborate with people through the nation and just start state by state, and just hopefully rebuild the network and connections so that we all can work together. Because I could see myself hitting the road with you one day.
yeah, no, I definitely want to tour. For me, I actually just started a new job.
I
I'm
seen that.
doing I'm doing garage door
I seen
installation.
that too, because you've been doing like electronic and phone repair and stuff for a while,
Yeah,
right?
man, this is a complete 360 for me.
So how is it for
And
you?
um, it's an awesome job. I find myself strangely interested by it. I don't know why, but it's very interesting. It's different. Probably the only thing that holds me back really is I've never had to actually work with power tools on a consistent basis
Right.
and
And
lots of
on like
heavy lifting.
construction sites or people's houses.
It's like 50-50. I mean, it could be anywhere at any time, and it's crazy. And that's what makes it so fun too. I mean, we ended up going out to a Hooterite colony
Whoa,
actually
what?
two different ones. Yeah. And
I don't think I've ever
one
been
was
out on a colony.
what they're set up different. I mean, one was really nice, or they're both really nice. But it was crazy because one actually had like their own concrete plant.
Hmm.
So like they were just set up to do whatever, whenever. Um, the other one, they had like their own kind of like cafeteria, mess hall area,
Right.
and I mean it was very nice. I mean it they're definitely not. I don't know. They don't do without, but if they don't need it, then it doesn't make sense to have it. If that makes sense.
Right. They live like a kind of a simpler life.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have whatever they wanted out there to tell you the truth. I mean,
Oh, they're pretty
it's
do it yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. Which is a
I
good
mean, this
thing. You've always been a
this
DIY guy, huh?
yeah.
Independent artist. Where
So
you got a home
it's
studio?
yep, yep,
That's the
portable
way
home
to be.
studio. So
Always, man.
I actually got that from Deli Capo
Oh, you
when
did?
he upgraded his studio. Yeah, he gave that to me
Oh,
as kind of like a birthday type deal.
brotherly love?
Yep, brotherly love.
ITK? It's the kin?
ITK. It's the
Hell yeah.
kin. So
Dude, that's what's up, man. So wait, do you have your own other any brand name or business name or just
uh
the soloist?
my own brand thing, like when I do things as far as like if it's a solo project and it's not going out through ITK, is Soloist Productions.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of where it all started. I originally actually went under a different moniker called Indifference, and then I
As
don't know, I just
a as your artist name?
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah,
I
I
had no
kind of
I never knew
started
that.
as yeah, I started as that first, and then um
You were
I don't
indifferent
know.
on the name Indifference. You just were like, ah,
Yeah, it just didn't work for whatever reason. I don't know what it was, and then I don't know, the soloist had a better ring to it. The interesting thing is though is I'm not the only one with the name the soloist. In fact, I actually get tagged in this other guy's posts quite frequently.
Oh,
He's an
dude, I know
enthusiast
how that
artist.
is. Trust me. I'm trying to rebrand with the Crossroads
Exactly, and
stuff
that's
because
that's kind
Jake
of
Ryan, there's all these. I got a message today. Oh, Jake Ryan from 16 Candles. I love you. You're so handsome. I'm like, that's not me. And I'm a God loves ugly though. No, I'm just another ugly monkey out here.
I know what you mean.
But
But
yeah, dude,
yeah,
it's so. But is it spelt the same with an A?
well, so the
THA is
different,
yours, right?
yeah, the difference is, and I kind of figured this would make a difference, but I do my S with a dollar sign instead
Oh, that's
of
right.
a normal S, and he does his with the S, and his is kind of his music is like a Wu-Tang type rap.
Uh huh.
So it's kind of crazy how we could get mixed up all the time. Like I don't understand it because you can like even when you're tagging somebody, you can see the statistical differences.
Right.
And
What do you mean? Numbers?
yeah, oh yeah,
Statistical.
number yeah, because you can see how many likes that page has comparative to mine. And I
Hmm.
mean it's definitely different. You know, I think he's
So,
in
what are
like
your thought
the
on likes and all that jazz nowadays?
well, I I think likes are kind of I don't really think they matter. And I don't know how how the algorithm honestly works as far as likes because I'm pretty sure you've seen with what YouTube's doing as far as
Recently?
uh, supposedly taking away the dislike button.
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually taking away or just being like, it doesn't actually do anything.
And well, and that's the thing too is if it doesn't do anything, that's kind of a bad thing because if
What
you
it
know,
does to
say
our
for
minds,
instance,
though.
well that too, but if you also look at it from like you know if you're trying to learn how to do something more efficiently,
Mm
you know like what videos you put out as far as helping other artists
hmm. Mm hmm.
if they're trying to look for a good video and you know that dislike button or like button if the like button still does something awesome that moves you up the list but if the dislike button doesn't do anything then it just kind of keeps you in the middle there and at the same time it's just not helpful i i
Yeah.
i I don't know what the
Even for the
purpose is behind that.
creators, like sometimes you want to know as a creator what
Yeah. If it, do I need to
people
switch it
do like
up
or
or
don't like, I mean,
exactly?
sometimes it's kind of tough to handle criticism as an artist or a producer of anything, but you kind of
Well,
need
and
to know to develop.
and the problem is nowadays, you know, um criticism isn't constructive anymore. I don't know if you've seen that a lot, but I mean
Mm,
it used to be where you
true.
could, you know, let somebody know, you know, this is what I think you could change. You know, this is how you could go about it. If you don't want to, that's cool, but this is how I feel. You know, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or nothing. And nowadays, it's kind of just like that constructive criticism just really isn't there anymore. It's almost kind of like, oh, it's a lot more harsh, I feel like anymore.
Oh, it is for
You,
sure.
you know,
I guess that's the hater aspect too, where it's like, a lot of people will like extrapolate on the hate. Like they could be, it's easy to be really mean, especially if you don't know somebody or you don't know them that well. Um, or if you're not connected at all and you just see a video of somebody you don't even know them.
exactly. And
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like the internet is has has birthed some pretty crazy things.
So what do you
Because
think
I
about the
mean,
metaverse now that we're like,
I think it's gonna do a lot more harm than real good. You know, for artists, it's gonna be figuring out how to do, uh, you know, like you were addressing virtual shows.
yeah, but
So
there's nothing like the real thing. But
exactly.
I mean, I guess like you say, I guess we'll see what this does for the actual real social interaction because how social media has changed social interactions in reality. Pretty weird. And like you say too, oh, if you want anybody to see your posts, you gotta pay, and which if you do pay more money, they will show it to more people. So it changes the whole dynamic of the game.
We'll see, and
And then
I
it's a
think
game.
Exactly,
In a
and
business, yeah.
that's kind of what I feel like they're kind of trying to do is they're trying to, chop it up. I don't know. Like a long time ago, they were talking about, chopping up the internet and kind of making it like a subscription plan. So, if you wanted to
Mm.
get news for like $5 more, you could get news. If you wanted your entertainment for $10 more, you get entertainment. And I feel
Hmm.
like that's what they're gonna do here with this metaverse thing. I I, I don't know why I feel that way about it, but I feel like the concept is a great idea, but I feel like at the exact same time, there's a lot of cons that come with that.
So,
For one,
yeah, let's hear it. What? For one?
oh, for one, people feel like they're getting a lot more social, and it's great for people that are states away,
Mm-hmm.
but at the exact same time, you're taking away real social interaction. I mean, even from the person that doesn't feel like they want to go outside for the day. That's
Mm-hmm.
not a that's not a good thing. It's not healthy.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you can have somewhat of a perceived better life on the internet or something, like a better avatar with like whatever hairstyle and figure you want or anything like that. And so it also makes me wonder about, say we're doing this virtual podcast. So I'm like, okay, in the metaverse, are they saying like there will be a hologram of each other in each other's places, or we're kind of like in this
Yeah,
virtual
since
meeting?
I feel like it would be however, you would have it set up. So, because uh have you ever used like a virtual reality, like an Oculus headset?
I haven't used Oculus yet.
So on an Oculus headset, they're kind of cool. When you put them on, you go to like a dashboard,
Mm-hmm.
and your dashboard could be whatever you want. It could be a simple room with like windows and scenery and stuff like that, and then everything as far as your menu goes is on like a tablet, or you can make it across the wall, or however you want to make it. So it would be however you designed it, the podcast room. And then
Mm.
you and I would just be sitting across from each other like we were in the real world.
Man, this is gonna be happening. It's crazy.
So, like I said, it's going to be awesome, but there's going to be a lot of little cons that are going to come with it too.
And then there's gonna be all those little the businesses within it that are like,
Oh yes,
oh yeah, if you want this or that, then you can pay us this money, and there's a lot of cons there too with just
exactly.
scams on the internet or Instagram and all that nowadays. Well, you're on Spotify and all that too, huh?
Yep.
Nice. Did you just release it yourself?
I went through DistroKid.
Nice. Yeah, I use DistroKid too. They're rad.
Yeah,
Sometimes I use CD Baby, but
I haven't had any issues with them. I heard CD Baby was really good too. Especially considering I don't know if they still do it, but do they still give you kind of like a break on as far as like physical copies of your CDs, like when you release, depending on tier?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the other thing I like about CD Baby was I would get the like BMI or ASCAP publishing affiliations for
So
certain music.
do you still use CD Baby at all?
Yeah, I will.
Um, as far as like, have you ever had any issues with them like, trying to like copyright strike anything that's been released through DistroKid?
Of mine,
Yeah.
um, I don't know if it would. Sometimes it would like catch the content ID like that, yeah, and be like, "Oh, this song is, we're gonna like take the royalty streams or something from this."
Oh, okay.
Um,
So
yeah, so they would catch it sometimes, like if it was my own song though, I guess. Why have you had some things happen?
no, I was just asking because a lot of people, at least from what I've heard, when they try to do multiple ones, they get caught up on it as far as, not being able to get their royalties. But it also, if you're not registered either properly, then, you can't get your royalties.
Yeah, there's I'll release like a lot of stuff through DistroKid. Um,
Hmm.
but my really really solid ones that I'll have to like pay extra to get some more publishing on, then I'm slowly trying to publish all my music. But it's a matter of time. But yeah, it is definitely one of those things like you say about properly putting in your information. I've had to change it a lot through the years. Like, no, I need it routed to this account or
Right. Yeah,
whatever.
and
But
that's kind of what I was wondering, if it was going to be a pain to like use both, because I would do it. I mean, DistroKid's so affordable. I think I only pay like 30 a month, and I haven't had an idea to use the other two profiles. I kind of figured, if inspiration will come when it comes. If I do decide to do something different, I can, always release it under a different project name, or.
yeah, I'll release. Yeah, and I'll do that too. Like release under separate project names and or other artists. But I really just prefer other artists to be in control of their own stuff because I think that as an artist, that's one of the biggest things about like signing a major deal. Like, what are your thoughts on major deals in the industry and stuff like that? Have you ever had thoughts about yourself and the major
Uh,
industry?
no, not really. All the people that I was around at the time, even in the Flu Nation days and stuff like that, they were more interested in, kind of getting that one hit and thinking that you're going to make 1 million off of it type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But you're making that one hit off of a YouTube beat that you don't even own the rights to.
Yeah.
So so to me it was kind of just like, I don't know, I've always been around. I've always liked the underground scene a lot more because it's just one of those things where you could set your own time. you know um the only downsides are is, you have to figure out, how am I going to get, these views, what audience do I really appeal to, those little things.
Yeah, you do
um
have to kind of get more of that marketing brain, kind of wear a few other hats rather than just the artist.
exactly, but I feel like learning that knowledge goes a lot further, because if you really think about it, you can then, either choose to share that knowledge
Mm-hmm.
or expand further upon it, and, have other avenues to make money yourself, rather than being indebted to this company,
Mm-hmm.
or this industry, because a lot of these
Oh, if you
guys,
sign onto a label or something.
yeah, because a lot of these guys, when they do sign on to a label, they may take like 1 million out, but that means you still have to sell 2 million to at least make that money back to that company, or to
Yeah.
that label,
Yeah, so it
and
is and you might be sacrificing some of your rights to music.
oh, you most definitely are. I mean,
And they're usually tapped into like every with the 360 deals like take a little of your merch and your royalty streams and touring and whatever. Yeah, everything.
yeah, and I mean, you also got to look at the aspect too when you sign those deals. You know, are my masters going to be my masters at the end of the day?
Yeah, are they gonna literally? And I've seen that happen to a lot of these cats. It would be. Would you hear about the guys who would be kind of like the industry plants? Like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, they're really signed to a major label, just playing it off like they're independent, but because they're kind of obligated to, then they can't release
And
music.
exactly, and they put them under this little thing where they can't release music, and then uh this and usually, if you've noticed it too, it's usually the ones that have like those hits that you really hear on the radio consistently, that
Mm-hmm.
they're really making money off of. So then they freeze them at a certain area, and then it's almost like they make them sit and wait. And I mean, it's not like they
Right.
stop paying them or anything, but at the same time, they don't let them release any new material. Um, and then they also control, whether or not they can do stuff like this, what
Yeah.
you and I are doing.
Yeah, and how to public relations and
Oh
everything
yeah.
like that. Yeah, you don't have as much freedom as far as where you're gonna go and what you're gonna do and what you do and don't
On
want to do or creative
on
control.
exactly, your creative control is kind of is really no longer there. You belong to whatever country or company is invested or wants to be invested in you. Um, then there's always the feeling of looking over your shoulder because you have security of people that you probably don't even know.
Yeah, and they're usually looking at you as a um, how do they make money off of you?
Exactly.
And are you could be disposable to the company and the brand. I guess that's why at the end of the day, it's good to just be your own boss of your own independent art and music and creativity. So,
Exactly. And that's
since you were mentioning beats earlier, do you find some different beats around? You've got some of my beats.
mhm.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, and that
because I would rap on some other like YouTube beats and stuff like that sometimes for fun and everything or inspiration. But I mean, what do you recommend even to other artists when it comes to like beats and
um
finding them?
what I used to do honestly was I actually used to use SoundClick back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I still do every once in a while, just to see who's new and who's out there. And usually you can go through their portals. Um, but I usually try to keep it, local with the homies. Because with this project, there's a couple beats from you that I'm using on this one, and then
Nice.
almost and another local guy by Travis Wilmore.
Oh,
And
cool. What
so
is your new
um,
project?
it's actually just the soloist EP. It's going to be a 8-track thing. Uh,
Nice.
like I said, I'm hoping to have it out by December 15th. Uh,
Oh, in like a month, huh?
yeah,
Less than a month.
less than a month. So it's only going to be a digital only release until I can get better funds up, but I definitely want
Right.
to get it out before the end of the year.
Yeah, and nowadays, I feel like if people buy CDs, I don't know how many people listen to CDs nowadays. I think they get them as more of
Honestly,
collectors. Do you listen to CDs?
I listen to CDs and I have a lot of CDs. I
So
mean,
you listen to them all the time, huh?
yeah,
Well, dang,
I
then y'all better keep making CDs out there.
exactly.
People still
It
use
was
them.
it was actually kind of cool because I did the Odd Squad family show in Missoula and in Bozeman,
Oh yeah, I seen that. Oh,
and
you did
I
them
got to
both.
yeah, I did them both, and
Nice.
I was really surprised because they did have CDs. And so I
Oh,
picked up their last album, The Flamingo Complex. Um,
Flamingo
but
Complex.
it dude, their music is a trip. It's awesome what they do. I mean, they themselves are motivation and inspiring too.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, dude, because they're like, well, they're the odd squad. It's like the
yeah,
people you would not think are doing what they're doing,
exactly.
you know?
Some real underdogs right there. And then it was really crazy too because even Mac Lethal, he still carries
Oh,
CDs
were you at
around.
those too?
Yeah, I didn't do the Missoula show. My
Nick
kid
putting those
or
on?
yeah, Nick put both of them
I'm
on.
I'm supposed to get
Um,
him on here sometime whenever it lines up.
yeah, Nick's a busy guy, man. He wears a
Nick
lot of
busy.
hats. Exactly. But
Yeah, and he's been around doing it for ever. He's like a 406 OG,
exactly.
and
But yeah, Mac Lethal was another one that still did CDs too, and he was really dope because he was just like, yeah, he's like, give me your last project, and oh man, I didn't have any of my merch out at the Missoula show, so I like had to run to the car, and we parked like 2 blocks away because Monk's is, right off downtown there, and
Right.
it's crazy to get a parking spot if you ain't there early.
True that.
So, but,
Hustling
but
down the
yeah,
street. Yeah, you've
you,
done quite a bit of shows throughout this region.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
else do you want to go with your music? How far do you want to take it?
I would love to live off of it if I could.
Yeah,
You know,
for
don't
sure.
don't don't get me wrong. I mean, I love working, but at the same time, I would love to be creative consistently and not have to take breaks because I feel like once I get a good flow going and then I have to take a break from it, it kind of it's tough to come back.
Yeah, I feel that for sure, especially after the world has changed as well. Well, hopefully, I want to get some. I'm going to start doing these playlists nowadays and build an underground hip hop playlist as I'm doing these podcasts and
Yeah, and it's
ciphers
it's
and stuff,
great.
and hopefully help build all of our audiences up and listeners.
Right.
And
Yeah, and it's
plus, with the
crazy.
cipher, I'm going to do
Yeah.
the 50-50 splits. So it'd be like, yo,
Okay.
yeah, then through DistroKid, which I like about DistroKid, it's easy to do the connect our accounts.
Oh man, DistroKid is so amazing. Have you ever seen those little videos you can make for like the previews of your songs?
I've seen some of them. I've seen like a
Yeah,
Seinfeld one.
yeah, man, they're wild. There's like a Seinfeld one, a Friends one. There's a Star Wars one.
Oh yeah, I've
It's
seen that one.
wild.
Baby Yoda, I think.
Yeah, yeah, Baby Yoda.
Yeah, all
It's
that stuff
crazy.
does help. All the little promo stuff. I'm trying to get better at the marketing, like you say earlier.
Oh,
And
it changes so much. It's crazy, and that's I guess that's one thing that social media has showed us too is things like TikTok. It's
mm-hmm.
it's gotten to the point now where like even short little videos, anywhere between 1 to 5 minutes, enough to keep somebody's attention is like the hype, and
I
that's
know,
how
and it changes the
and
game as far as like you could spend a bunch of money on a music video production, and it's like
well,
people just want to see a 5 second clip of somebody dancing around on a toilet or something.
yeah, and it's just like what,
To
how
but if they do it to your
I,
song and then it gets like a million streams on TikTok, and if you got it all linked up right, then you'd get those royalty streams, like even through
well,
DistroKid, which is nice.
well, yeah, and it's really cool too because TikTok actually pays pretty decently for those little snippets. I didn't realize that until I actually really started looking at them.
Yeah.
They actually do better than Spotify, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it's kind of strange, but I've trying to learn all those little ins and outs and those all those different ways, so that hopefully one day we're all able to be making a living also off of this music. Well, at least the
Right.
garage doors, sure you're learning and getting some experience with that. That's what
Oh
I'm in
yeah.
right now is a converted garage. You can see the
Oh, okay.
the door opener, right?
Oh yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was doing drywall, I remember seeing a bunch of my buddies installing garage doors. It did not look easy.
No, it's one of those things too where uh because we're so short-handed, um it's kind of like learning on the fly essentially. Like the first three jobs that I was at were actually all repair jobs, and they were all like, or actually one was a garage door. The first one was a garage door, was a commercial one. Um, but the other ones were all repair jobs. And it's crazy what you have to do to actually, well, the proper way to, even repair a tension spring. And it's, I mean, the tension springs are probably the most dangerous things.
Oh, dude, those massive springs?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, those things are dangerous.
And it's nuts having to like, uh, basically, I mean, even changing them like in high
Gotta work on
areas.
ladders.
Oh, even lifts too.
Oh, and
It
lifts,
depending
yeah.
on how
Because you guys
depending
don't
on
really
how high.
work on stilts.
No, I mean, thankfully the company's not that cheap.
Yeah.
Because that would be horrible. But now they've got lifts, thankfully, so it's a little bit better. We still do ladder work, but for me, I'm not the best when it comes to heights either. As long as I stay busy, I'm fine. But as soon as I realize, oh shit, I'm this high up, I'm kind
Oh
of,
yeah.
so it's getting past that point.
How
Even
about stage fright for you? You ever have to deal with stage fright?
Oh yeah, I mean, I still get nervous even to this day. But I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as it was. I remember the first time I got up on stage, um, and it was kind of cool because like I said, in when Machinery Row was open, we were spoiled. We had these things called Independent Tuesdays,
Mm-hmm.
and it was basically an open mic night if you're into any type of thing, but a lot of hip hop artists would come down, and
Nice.
that's what got me to go on stage. And uh, the first time I ever went on stage, I froze up and forgot everything. And then
Hey,
you
you
know how it
gotta
goes.
go through that.
Exactly. Well, then you
Isn't
know
it
how it goes
amazing
too.
how that actually does happen to you? I've experienced it as well.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and then it's kind of like, oh, what line was I at? Which verse am I on?
mm-hmm.
And the cool thing is, and I mean those guys will forever be my brothers, but Peanut Butter Cartel, they came up to me, and I mean they were the first ones to basically encourage me, and they were like, the one thing that you did that we couldn't do when we first got on stage is you stayed in the center of the stage. And I didn't realize I did it because I was disassociating and then trying to
Right?
catch up. But
I
you know
know how it
that,
is though. You do it. You're like, okay, I'm in
but
it, and
yeah,
it's a rush too.
it is. And these last performances, I mean, even in Utah too, uh, with being sober, I mean, that was the one thing that I was worried about because I was always, having the liquid courage beforehand is, can I still do this being sober?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I mean, the Utah shows, they definitely showed with crowd reaction, but the Mac Lethal show, that was probably the best crowd response I had in any set that I've done. And I mean, even Nick told me that was the best performance he'd seen from me.
Nice.
Um, so I mean, hats off all around. But
Right
it
on.
was one of those things where it was just like, man, can I still get this same feeling being
Mm.
sober and doing it? And the answer was yes, all around.
Yeah, dude,
So
that's a testament to that, man, and the fact that like I've had thoughts, and I'd always think these thoughts when I was like, I want to get off the booze because I was like, it's not helping me. It's getting in the way of things, but I'm addicted to it, you know. And I would think, well, maybe I'll succeed more in these things I want more success in, like the music and everything like that, or the dreams. Maybe it'll be easier to achieve these dreams sober, you know. And
right.
I would say it it's tough to get over the hump, but things do get easier.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's the one thing that you can look at too is,
No
you
more
know,
acting a fool. I've done plenty of that on the internet. I used to go off on the internet, like drunk, and then wake up like, oh shit.
have all these missed calls and a bunch of
Yeah.
notifications, and it's just like, oh man,
Whoops. I was in a bad mood and drunk last night. I'm sorry.
right?
Uh,
Yeah, and I mean that's the only thing you can do though is accept it and then just move past it. And that's one thing that's helped too is you know learning that you can at least take a piece from it and just kind of run with that knowledge again. You
Yeah,
know,
live and learn. Like you
yeah,
say, even just putting out music, working on projects. It's all this learning process, putting on shows, going out, and would you go out to Washington and put on some shows too?
no,
You
no,
haven't been out to
uh,
Washington yet? I thought I seen you
no,
out there.
I haven't been out to Washington. Um, man, I
Well, I
think
have
it's
to
been
stay
like,
tuned with you because I got some plans
okay,
for going on tour one day where I'm gonna get a good tour vehicle, like some sort of sprinter van situation and trailer, and eventually I'll be rounding up a group of people to go out on jaunts, you know. But it's taking the time. I mean, after you've been sober 2 years, dude, that is an accomplishment. That's a big accomplishment.
yeah, it's felt great too. In all honesty, I mean, I there's always the temptation and urges, of course, but I mean, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's just telling myself, hey, man, you've always told yourself just once, and look where it gets you every time.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I've been there with you sometimes. I used to drink just so much liquor. I don't even really miss it. One thing that did help me at times, I would have a non-alcoholic beer, and it like kept me from not drinking. But then I've grown to just be like, I really like I've had some people, some friends and family that would quit drinking and they would drink non-alcoholic regularly.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's because they just want the taste, or um, I know there's a couple people that when they quit smoking cigarettes, they
Mhm.
still like they'll usually have something like like a lollipop or something. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? To still have that same type of uh I can't think of the term because there's an actual
Yeah.
term.
It satisfies some sort of craving for that like physical pattern you do or something.
Yeah, because after so many times, you really think about it. A lot of people, if you've been doing it for 5 to 10 to 15 years,
Mhm.
it's it's just a ritual.
Oh yeah, and kids, I guess it was one of my biggest inspirations to changing my ways other than my hangovers.
Oh, I don't miss the hangovers at all, but I
Dude,
mean, for me,
yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
it was my kids too. I didn't like them seeing me like that
Mm.
either.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know, so it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, yeah, that, and we're getting older, and I mean, the last time I drank heavy, oh man, I felt it for like a week. It
Mhm.
felt like, I mean,
Right? Yeah.
it wasn't your typical hangover. It was just like, oh man, I ache all over. It was kind of like actually what I felt like the first week uh, at working from going from a
Oh
non-physical
yeah,
job
true
to a
that.
heavy physical labor.
Yeah, for
It's just
sure.
like, oh man, but not as fulfilling. You know, lots of regret.
Yeah, yeah, I know how it is. Well, I'm stoked to hear that you've been on that on a good path for a long time, man. And that also super stoked that you've stayed dedicated to your music. And you know, it seems like a passion of yours. Like you must love it or something.
I for me, it's literally, for me, it's always been about the art of expression. I, I it's just basically how I'm able to really release anything like heavily or emotional. Um, at least on a, I don't know, on a, yeah, uh, yeah.
Yeah, it
For
is
me, it's
like
about
therapy. Yeah,
expression.
if you got to translate all that energy or the thoughts of the bad things that happen in life that are out of your power, or just
Yeah,
how to deal with emotions and relationships. Because I've heard some of your music is like party and fun and like let's have a good time, and then some of it's more emotional and like introspective and about relationships and just like real life stuff, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
dude,
know,
we'll have to make some more music together. I
yeah,
don't think I'm
definitely.
gonna be doing these Soulfire beat ciphers, but then I'm gonna start doing reaching out to more people for some of my own songs to
Awesome.
feature
Well,
on.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
know,
definitely keep me in mind. And I mean, I did. I can always link because I know you want to do from state to state. You know, I know you're working on Oregon and Washington.
hmm
But I did meet some dope homies out in Utah too.
yeah,
So
dude,
I can always plug you in there because I mean, there's quite a few artists that were just they were mind blowing.
I'm
Um,
about it. I'm trying to be better at my networking, and now that I'm not drinking, I'm much more have a better composure and mental stability.
right.
You know, so connecting with new people, all about it. I'm ready to get back out there in the world. I was kind of not quite ready to get back out there the last few years. I'm stoked to see that you were getting out there and putting yourself out there, and you were one of the
Yeah, I
first that I seen kind of getting back on the scene.
yeah,
Actually,
I yeah, I mean, for me, it was just like I don't know, something in me just I felt like it was time again, you know. And I mean,
you would do it solo, soloist.
yeah,
Like I'm going out, or you would go with Abnormal to another spot too. You said you went
yeah,
to Utah.
yeah, we went to Utah, and I mean we had lots of fun. As far as the festival was, I mean, he it seemed like he had a lot of fun too. He got to network with a lot of different artists. Me, I partook too much, so I was kind of like lazy as far
Oh
as
yeah.
really being talkative. I mean, if you look at any picture he's got me tagged in, it's kind of hard to even tell if I'm awake in some of the pictures.
Hey man, when it's Utah dabs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, dude,
and I
for
mean,
sure. I seen some of the videos from that and I was like, damn, dude, I can't even like I'll be hitting the vape pen, which is nice.
mhm.
Even sometimes though I'm like, well, okay, that was a little bit too
Yeah,
much. Like it's just not like I used to be that guy. That's like, let's
I
go crazy.
I had I
And now
had
I'm just
no
like, dude,
idea
I'll be out.
I had no idea what a dab bar was until we got there because I was kind of just like, what's a dab bar? You know, I could get down at that. And holy cow!
Yeah, dude, true that. I'm stoked though that next year in Montana that the recreational laws will. I think people over 21 should be able to go and
Yeah,
buy more
I'm
now.
kind of I'm kind of interested to see what that's going to do for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
especially here because it kind of seems like Great Falls is opening up to the ideas a lot more.
Do you guys have a
Um,
lot of dispensaries?
no, actually, I think we only have like seven because of
Oh,
the
well,
because
that's.
of the they have this weird industrial uh zoning law type deal.
Mm,
So the dispensaries can only be in certain places. I
right.
know there's like three up behind Black Eagle, and then the other two are like um behind oh man, I can't think of what park it is. They're up by like Steel, etc. though.
Mm.
It's really weird how their zoning is. I know that they were gonna try and change that, but I don't know if anything became of it. I really haven't been paying attention,
Yeah,
but
I guess.
I'm excited to see it, kind of not be a big deal anymore. Just because there's a lot of people that been lost their lives essentially just systematically, um, for a little bit of a plant.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, I tried to go. I quit off of that for a while too when I was getting off the booze,
Right.
and it, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'll go without it sometimes, but it actually does help me. You know, sometimes, especially to just chill out and you know how it is,
Oh
family
yeah.
and kids and life, stressful. Just a lot of energy.
Exactly.
But I do
I've
believe in the
I've
plant.
I've felt myself actually cut down quite a bit since changing job
Mm-hmm.
fields, which has been kind of nice. And that's actually helped me with the social media side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of helped and hindered because it's gotten me off of social media, so I'm not looking at it consistently all the time,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. But at the same time, then you kind of start slipping on your promotion and stuff. So,
Yeah. I understand how that is. Got to keep a balance though between
yep,
just life and the virtual life. Yeah, I
exactly.
want to next year I'm going to start putting on some more shows again. I was thinking about Great Falls of where to do things at cuz I mean, I remember putting on shows in the back of the Do and in their little like ballroom area. What do you think? What places you
The
digging?
dude's the dude's a great venue. I mean, they're great venue. Um,
You said you worked with the alumni club there too? What's that place?
we,
Pretty cool.
we did a show there. But it was kind of like I said, it was last minute because Chris was the DJ.
Right.
And I mean, he still DJs over there. Their uh, their dance floor slash stage is pretty big. The only downside is they don't do covers.
Oh, right.
So that was the only downside of that whole show is he was not being able to charge for it. So
Right.
but there's also a new venue in town, the Newberry, and
I'll check it out.
I don't know what they look like, but I mean they have been bringing like hits after hits after hits, like
What kind of shows are they throwing? Just like,
everything, if like from every different venue they or I mean from every different genre. They actually have um oh, I can't think off the top of my head, but they're the ones that are bringing Steve-O here to Great Falls.
oh yeah,
And then
dude. Yeah,
and then
dude.
they're
I like his
and then
podcast too.
and then they're bringing Rob Schneider.
What?
Yeah, dude, Rob
Rob
Schneider's gonna
Schneider.
yeah, he's gonna be here in February, dude. Um
Dude, that's pretty cool.
I'm yeah, but they also are booking like old school alternative bands like the Red Jupe Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Oh, nice.
I
So they're
haven't
putting
heard from
on
those
some
guys. Yeah,
real shows out there.
they're
They're getting
doing
some
a
bigger
nine.
acts from traveling around too.
Yeah, they're doing a '90s night, old school hip hop, and I feel so bad because I can't think of any of these artists off the top of my head. But I mean, they were all like big between like '92 and '94, and
Nice.
they're going everywhere. I mean, they've got some country acts booked too. I think they also booked Hinder,
Oh, dope.
and
So they're getting
uh,
like, well, I'll have to check out what's happening in Great Falls for next year and hopefully
yeah,
do
I
some
would
shows with
probably
you.
I would see if yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, those two venues are really the only ones that I know of that are really doing anything music wise. Um, I really haven't kind of been going around or anything because, anytime I ever went into a bar was more or less for a drink.
Oh yeah, I don't ever go to bars. The only in fact, I actually want to do more shows that aren't at bars. I want to do more community center events that are even to kids that are like can't even go to bars. We'd probably
That'd be
put on
cool.
bigger shows. Black Eagle Community Center, bro. That's what I was thinking. Actually, I was like, dude, let's just also cater to there's still the 18 to 21 crowd, and then there's
Yeah.
all age events. I'm like, dude, I'll do
Did you
rock all age events.
did you hear that there's a venue that's actually opening up that's like that in Missoula?
Oh yeah, it was
I can't
it
think
started
of
with an
what the
L
name.
or something. Like it had like an alliteration to the name.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
where
lyrical
they
lemonade or style name.
yeah,
Something
yeah,
lounge. Luxury
yeah.
lounge.
I think so, something like that. Where kids get to come out and then I think at like midnight or
I'm
whatever
trying to
it
tap more
changes.
into that, dude. Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not drinking now, and in fact, I'm trying to be a little more of like I'm gonna eventually develop like a support group type thing that's just like, hey man, if you're all on that wavelength of trying to become a better person, then you know that's what we're all trying to do here.
Exactly.
And we'll have to give that a try sometime. I don't think we've ever done that together. Put on some like all age shows.
No, no,
We'll probably be able to
none
find a
of them.
bunch of new rappers in the scene too, like Young Guns. You know,
Right?
I mean,
That'd
there's,
be pretty cool.
but it'd be nothing like getting back with the OG Tito Trevino, the soloist, and Dolly Capo. I know he hasn't been doing music for a while. He's been busy, but
No, he's been doing lots of things in the shop. Man, his shop is it's something else. It's gonna be awesome once he really starts showing it off more. And I mean, even the studio that he's trying to work on and put together, it's yeah,
yeah, dude, I think
2000.
I'm glad to see the progress you guys have both made just in life and, you know, as things change. I look forward to doing it in the future.
Yeah, me too.
More work together. I think it'll be a lot we've had some good times in the past and there's more good times in the future.
Yeah,
But well, I'll just stay in contact with you about any of my plans and the cipher. And then I was gonna have people shoot like if they want to shoot any little video clips and then send them my way. I could just like throw a quick edit on them, make them look kind of cool.
yeah, cool. I can do that.
Yeah, even if it's whatever you recording your verse or spitting it in your front yard or whatever, I don't care. You know, just to basically try and connect everybody and I don't know, just get back into my networking. I've been in my cave for like a few years. I feel like I'm like, dude, I gotta get back out there and work with my homies.
Yeah, but sometimes it's good to hibernate, you know. That's what Capo refers to it as, it's
Mm-hmm.
hibernation, you know. I mean, he before this whole COVID stuff went down, he actually teasered some stuff off of his project um that he was working on. And I mean, he always kind of just gives himself a more of a doubt than anything. But I mean, the stuff that he's going to be cooking up this next year, it's yeah, it's 2022 is definitely going to be a good year. I
I believe it.
I can definitely feel it. And I mean, even with this one, because I shoot, when's the last time I actually released anything? I think beginning of this year, probably in like May, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really been a while. But I mean, I haven't released anything project wise probably in like years, it feels like. That was like
Yeah.
an actual meaningful project.
I saw you just been cooking this one up and working on it for a while.
Hmm.
Well, it's good, man. You've been
Well,
sitting on that egg. You know.
exactly. And a lot of things have been changed. It changed. You know how it goes. Um, the first time I actually had the EP done, uh, I had computer issues
Mm.
where the hard drive just didn't spin anymore, and there was no way to. Well, there was a way to recover the data, but it was too costly.
Oh.
So,
Whoa.
and then it was fine, because I still had the notebook, so it was just like, okay, cool, I still got the notebook, so I can still, all I got to do is just get to a studio type deal. And then um I had to move, or we had to move, and when I packed my notebook, I must have packed it with something that was um I don't know if it was waxy or what, but when I unpacked everything, when I opened that notebook, I mean, it was smeared with some kind of waxy stuff.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, this has been a long time coming type deal,
Your
but
lyrical notebook?
yeah,
Oh, dude.
I'm old school. I'd use pen and paper, and
Yeah, dude.
then uh, I'm just old school that way. And then once I get to like actually recording, then I'll type it up on my phone or whatever. Because
Mm.
then, if I don't know how you are, but like I always trip up over my own words, and
Mm-hmm.
I know what my words are.
Right?
But if
Yeah.
I'm looking,
Sometimes
but
it'll
if
take
I'm
a
looking,
while. I'll be like,
e-
gotta get this
e-
right.
exactly. So I feel like once I do it or once I write it down, then I'll type it on my phone, and then I'll have the phone held up or whatever, and it's a little bit clearer. I make a little less mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still trip
Right,
up over
yeah.
my own words.
Yeah, my
I feel,
handwriting will get sloppy.
yep,
I'll be like,
and that's
it just all starts to look like a mix of cursive and
yep.
regular manuscript, and it's like, starts to look like a blur. Even when I'm not drunk, it's just like, so I totally feel you. And there's nothing like writing in a notebook, pen to pad, you know?
Yep, that's how I am too. Well, and I bought a an actual fountain pen from a homie of mine.
Wait, what?
Uh, yeah, I bought an old school fountain pen.
Like, what kind of fountain pen? Like, do you have to dip it in ink?
It almost looks like it actually, but it's you don't have to dip it in ink, but it's still got that old school kind of style to it. I'll actually
Really?
grab it real quick.
There's nothing like a good pen and a
Oh, I
fresh
know.
notebook. And there's also nothing like your number one notebook where you're like, dude, this one's got, like you say, it's got so much good writing within it that it's just precious.
Yeah, shout out to my buddy Jeremy.
What?
But yeah, this is he did this. This is all wood, and then it just spins off right here.
Whoa. Dude,
So
you
the
write with
ink's
that
actually.
thing?
Oh yeah,
So how, you don't have to dip it in ink, it just has a ink.
it
Whoa.
has a little ink cartridge in the.
So
Of
you can
course, I've been
refill
heavy.
it?
Yeah, you can refill it.
Wow. So where'd you get that?
My buddy Jeremy actually made this. He moved to Colorado. Originally, he was here
Huh. He
in
does
Great
that?
Falls.
It's like
Yeah.
as a business or something, or as a
Oh
hobby?
yeah, he does. I'll uh, I'll send you his link.
Yeah, and I'll definitely put
Um.
your links down
Oh
below.
yeah, I'll send you my link tree.
Oh, I
Um.
need to make a link tree. I'm like, dude, I gotta get hip
Dude,
with it.
Linktree is it's been such a savior.
Yeah.
It's great. And the cool thing is too is you can actually track your statistics on who clicks on what and where, and yeah, it's Linktree's been
Nice.
a savior. So, but yeah, I'll get you his information. The uh the video doesn't really show very well, but the type of blue that he used was the same type of um kind of granite blue that used to be on the wallpapers for like most Windows 95
Oh yeah.
slash 98 computers. Yeah. As soon as I saw that blue, I was like, yo, I need that color, please.
Your glasses have a like a blue tint to them.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna
They've
be getting
always been
some
like
new.
that, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some new shades here too. Originally, the reason why I did that was because I was looking at device screens all the time,
Mm.
and blue tint actually saves your eyes as far as the sensitivity and everything.
Mm.
That's why you'll see like most new phones have like what they call a blue light filter, which
Mhm.
just changes the screen brightness to not be so harsh on the eyes.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I've had these a minute, so I've got some new glasses coming hopefully here next week.
Yeah, I need to get some
So,
new ones. Yeah, Man, before I let you go here in a minute, what was working with phones like? Cause dude, those things kind of blow my mind.
So phones, honestly, it's not as complicated as everybody um, likes to put over it. It's not as simple as like the YouTube videos make it, but it's not. It's definitely not complicated. As far as figuring out what's wrong,
What would you have to
um,
do? Like screen repair,
we
battery
did
stuff?
we did everything. I mean, we did screen replacements, battery stuff. I've done water damage repair, which that's tricky in itself because what you do on a lot of water damage stuff is you have to take the motherboard out, which is the brains of the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
You have to separate it from the screen and the battery, and then usually, if you had the availability to, you would use either deoxit or they have these specialty little baths that you can buy, um, depending on, like I said, how deep you really wanted to go with fixing the motherboard. Or you could even, if it was one that was, let's say, like anywhere between 8 hours and 24 hours, you could honestly just use 90% alcohol,
Hmm.
and it'll usually prevent the components from corroding, which will, in the long run, save your phone. Um, but I would say it's moderately difficult to work on phones, but it's nowhere as hard as a lot of people make it out to be. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if you've worked on, if you've ever worked on like an old school VCR, or like even, a DVD player, or if you've ever taken something apart, you could probably fix a phone.
So, do you think that we'll ever get to a day with technology or nanotechnology? Well, that's what really surprises me about a phone is, just like everything that they can do. They're like a
Right.
computer. So, I'm like, do you ever think there'll be a day? I was thinking this the other day when I was just like jamming, and my phone was away from me, right? And I got my guitar on, and I'm over by the computer, and I'm like, I'm strapped. I'm plugged in. I can't reach stuff. And my wife wants me to do something on my phone. I'm like, well, it ain't here. And I was thinking to myself how some people think that one day we'll get to a point where our phone could be like that Oculus, where it's like almost like within us, and it's
Mhm.
all just like overlaid in our perception.
We're already kind of trying to get to that point if you really think about it. Like a lot of your like your iWatches, or
Mm.
your Samsung Gear watches, or even uh well, like even if you're even your tablets now, actually, because I got a I have this Samsung tablet, and my mom called me, and it started ringing on my tablet, and I'm like, I've never taken a phone call on my tablet before,
Mhm.
ever, and I didn't even know it was a possibility, so I just answered it anyway on the tablet. I had the conversation because I couldn't find my phone at that point in time.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like we're already trying to get to that point just because of that. I remember I had a Samsung watch, and it did the exact same thing as long as I was on the same wireless network. If my phone was in the bedroom and I got a phone call, but I was downstairs in the basement, I could still answer it. Or but you're still very, very limited. I feel like we will get there. I just hope it's nothing that we have to like implant. You
Right.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's pretty scary. Because then there's
Because
like,
if
how do you turn back from that?
exactly,
Turn
well,
it off and on.
how do well, and at that point too, your privacy is no longer private.
That's
We've
the biggest thing, and it's already at risk.
well, and there's already proof that our phones listen to us in some way, shape, or form, even
Mhm.
even off of like the basic shopping suggestions.
Right.
Most of your Google searches are monitored because based on what you look at, all that information stacks up, and it'll show you daily things of what you're interested in. Oh, if you were looking at like fenders or even a new keyboard or something like that, they're going to say, oh, maybe you'd be interested in some lights to go with your keyboard, or would you like a
Right.
DJ
Now I'm
setup?
in it.
Or
Now they're gonna be definitely feeding me that. Yeah.
and that's what I'm excited for is a lot of these. There's actually a new update coming, at least for Android, that turns the microphone off
Mm.
on a lot of stuff. And well, it'll turn that off and the camera off. And then, say for instance you want to take a picture, it'll just tell you, oh hey, you got to turn that back on. Would you like to do that now? Oh yeah, take your picture and then turn it back off.
Hmm.
I mean, and that's the thing is I've worked on phones long enough to know that they do actively listen. Um, there's uh, the crazy thing about um, the phones too is it's how should I put it? They're complicated, but they're simple at the same time.
Yeah, there's so
Like,
much like I was just thinking like I probably only know 20% of what I can do with this thing. If that. I don't know.
yeah, and well, and the thing is I recently upgraded on my phone, and I got one of the new ones that fold. So it's basically like a two in one. If I want it to be a phone, it's a phone, but it folds out to a tablet.
Huh.
And the crazy thing is my productivity as far as like editing and everything has gotten so much better because I've always been good at as far as like editing pictures and stuff like that
Mhm.
on the fly, but like now, I can actually download like, Adobe programs and stuff like that to actually really mess with photos, and it actually
Nice.
looks a lot better. um that's going to be the kind of cool thing is as far as my cover art goes for the EP, that's all me as far as working on that goes.
Nice.
um so and I actually got pretty comfortable with the program. I think I used Adobe Rush.
Oh yeah.
So that it'll be interesting to kind of see. But that's where we're going with a lot of this stuff too. Is again, somebody decided, oh hey, it's better to do a two in one type thing.
Dude, and
Um,
honestly, I get these thoughts all the time cuz like I'll say I'll be sitting over there with sound gear and laptops and this and that and then sometimes I'm like, to be honest with you, I could just like use my phone and like, you know, you can do so much with the phone. It's incredible.
the only downside is it's as far as everything goes, is it's still not as good in some aspects as others.
Mhm.
Like um especially when it comes to like clear cut editing, like there's always like gonna be the hiccups there,
Mhm.
and that's why computers will, that's why they're still making computers. um I think we'll be to the point as far as like nanotechnology or maybe projecting technology probably by the time we're like 60 or 70. I think it's a long time as far as that goes. The meta thing, I feel like that's going to work, but only if you have like some type of expensive headset,
Right.
you
Yeah, I
know.
guess we'll see as this virtual reality becomes more common in culture. Just
Well, and
like
I'm kind
probably
of
how
wondering,
smartphones slowly
well,
kind of they took a few years to become like, oh, everybody got a smartphone now.
oh yeah, and I mean that's the crazy thing too is I remember um when I first started fixing phones, it's just crazy to see how many different age groups have smartphones. I mean, I fixed a phone for a 6-year-old.
Whoa.
And yeah, dude, for me, it's just like, I don't know, like my 6-year-old doesn't have a cell phone.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna give my kids cell phones for. a little while longer. Maybe I mean they'll play on a tablet and stuff like or Nintendo, but yeah, like you say, keeping that balance between virtual reality and real life reality, pretty important.
If I were to do something like that, like I probably will when, because Willow's getting up here pretty soon as far as, responsibility, but I'd probably do something simple like a flip phone because they still have them.
Mhm.
You can still get a flip phone for like $30, you know, and
Yeah, I
not
seen they
have
were trying to do
access to the.
Instagram for kids,
Yeah,
and I was like, I
well,
don't know about that. It kind of freaks me out. Like,
and the same thing with YouTube, they've got YouTube for kids or
mhm.
whatever, but I mean, the whole thing is unless you yourself are moderating, there is no real protection.
It's the internet.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, it gets out, and you've got all these malicious people with horrible intent, and they figure out a way to get around all that stuff in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, for
So I
sure.
mean, anytime Ramon's on YouTube because he's got his playlists for I can't even remember. They're like nursery rhymes and stuff.
Right.
But we always watch it together, just because it's just a playlist.
The way
So,
to be.
and I mean, as far as I don't use it like other parents do, because I know there's some other parents that'll use it for like, Peppa Pig or, if you don't have access to cable, you got to do what you got to do.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm always there consistently watching or um you just gotta be at any point in time. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so
There's
many ways that people work around.
yeah, and there's just like a lot of cons out there, schemers and people that for some reason, like you say, they just have malicious intent for no reason. Like they'll take a Peppa Pig and then they were throwing in like weird stuff into them, like scary stuff and
Well, and there was even, I don't know if you saw it too, but about a year or so back there was actually I got somebody that was doing that with Google Apps.
hmm,
And
like fraudulent Google apps.
yeah, and it was the same type of thing where um uh it was this talking truck or whatever, Blaze the talking truck or something.
Mhm.
And well, it was one of them, and you'd get like a phone call from Blaze the talking truck, and it really wasn't. It was like some crazy dude basically yelling obscenities.
Man, people are so
And it's just,
strange out there.
yeah, and it's just like, man, like what, how does that even, like,
Benefit
I just don't
you,
understand it.
benefit them in a way. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why you gotta monitor the internet. The internet is definitely not a safe place. The world is
Oh,
strange, but the internet is stranger.
yeah, fair. Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Yeah, sometime we'll have to. Eventually, I'm trying to do some projects where I'll do like whole projects with people where I'll be like, yeah, I did this whole album for them with beats and stuff. So yeah, dude, I don't know. We'll have to figure out some more collaborations in the future. I'm stoked to do the cipher with you. I'm stoked for your new project. Can't
Yeah,
wait till we can
I'm
put on a
definitely.
show again.
Oh yeah, me too. I definitely miss doing shows here in town. I mean, it's I think that was one of the reasons why when Salt Lake City was offered, it was kind of just like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try the all ages stuff more though, cause I'm not drinking nowadays. So,
Yeah, no, definitely. And I
and it's
mean,
good to have somebody like you too. Like I've had a few other people that are like, you know what? Since you've stopped drinking, I've decided it's probably good for me to stop drinking.
and that's awesome. I mean, there's so that's
You
probably
inspired
the
me too. Where I was like, man,
that's
Tito's doing it. I gotta do it again. I knew it. I was like,
and that's another reason why too is, I can't let you guys down either. So
true that, bro.
that's it.
And hey, man, it's Yeah, you're an inspiration.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate
Yeah, man.
that, you know. And I mean,
Well,
I know it's definitely not easy, but I mean, 4 months is still a long time. I mean,
it's nice how it
you got
becomes just normal after
exactly.
so much time where you're like, yeah, it's I used to crave this. I used to
Well,
just
and
want to get drunk.
and I can tell you, for me at least, when I had the 4 month mark, that's definitely what I felt. But once I hit like the 6 month mark, it was kind of like, oh man, like yeah, you still have them here and there, but it's just one of those things where it's just like I can't even say it really phases me as much as it used to anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of just like one of those things where it just taps you on the shoulder, reminds you that it's still around,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, it's smooth sailing, and that's how I look at it, is just one day at a time. Um, that's all you can really do, is just one day at a time, really.
Dude, what I want to do in the future, and I could get you in on this project, is I want to do an album or something that's all about that.
Yeah,
It's an
I'd be
album
down.
for people that are going through like recovery and or they're struggling with addiction or alcoholism, and be like, yeah, man, it's just for people. Like we specifically made this whole album just for
Yeah,
people like that.
I would definitely be down with that, because like I said, any of the classes that I went to, I mean, that was one thing that a buddy of mine, actually one of the coworkers that I was with, was, he was talking about it, and he was just like, well, you were an addict. You were addicted to alcohol. And I'm like, no, I still am. That's one of the things, is you can't ever really dismiss it. And I feel like a lot of this the stuff that is fed to you in the system is almost like you should dismiss it. And you have the option, if to so choose, to have a shot or two shots or whatever. And for a lot of people like you and me, it's not like that.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of people out there that are the exact same way, but they're caught in that because they're trained at that point.
right.
So I would definitely be down with that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll stay connected with you about ideas like that. I don't know. Is there anything else we should chat about before we rock and roll?
Yeah,
We've
I
covered a lot of bases.
we did. We
Yeah.
we cut I think we went like literal a couple home runs there.
Yeah, dude, for sure. And we talked about music and life, family, alcohol, which that dude, I want to have more podcasts where I'm talking to people about this because I think it'll really help. I
Yeah,
think that we could
definitely.
help develop the audience of, when you think about fan bases or who's following or listening to your music, that's who I started thinking I should maybe try to speak to a little bit more as once I started going through the change of, okay, maybe I should work on this sobriety stuff. and it,
Well, see, and that's the thing too, is you were able to identify it, and that's literally the starting point of the real battle there. Um, a lot of people, I mean, myself, I didn't identify it until, um, like I said, there's basically a point of no return for me.
mm-hmm.
If I were to, you know, if I were to drink today, I mean, it'd be game over, as far as, you know, my family goes, as far as, for me, as far as a future, in my opinion,
Because
because
you
it
know
would
your
be,
own self so well.
hmm and that's one thing that, you know, the whole reason why I got another job was, it wasn't for me. It's to better improve everything for my family, and now that, um, pay will be a lot more consistent too. Next to that, I'll be able to put back into my own brand as well, and that'll be a lot nicer. as well, because that's one thing that I've always been struggling to do is to be able to put enough into my brand, um,
Mm-hmm.
to really put it to where I want it to be. Next to
True that.
algorithms changing and everything.
Right.
So
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing like the real organic connections and nothing like having just a conversation. It was good to actually have a conversation again.
yeah,
We
yeah, it
haven't
was,
chatted for a while. We
no,
got a
it's
good
been,
long chatting. I don't know how long we chatted. Probably over an hour.
I think so. I think so.
Well,
So
dude,
no,
yeah, we'll
it's
have to chat again sometime in the future. And
definitely, definitely.
I'm gonna try and touch base with people periodically on this, that are, especially my homies, you know. Because the way I see it, I'm like, yo, me and Tito, we could be working together for life, you know. It's like, yo, he's my homie, you know.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And one day I'll get the kids together. I want to put on some events for the families one day. I actually do want to put on literal events like, oh yeah, bring our little kids around and they can,
Oh, they love that. Like I said,
we'll
it like
put on some
my
bounce
kid.
houses and a stage for the kids to get on and stuff, you know.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. They'd love that. No, like I said, they. I don't know. It's amazing because they already think I'm a rock star in their eyes, and so I mean, I could
Your
retire
dad, you
tomorrow and
know.
be happy.
Yeah.
So it's one of those
You're a
things.
rock star in my eyes too.
Well, thank you, bro.
Yeah, bro. You're my homie, which is even cooler than being a rock star. You're just my dude, you know?
Exactly.
You kind of remind me of like Be Real for some reason from Cypress Hill. I don't
Oh
know why.
yeah.
I don't know why, but you do. Yeah. Maybe just because you're
He's got
real,
a. I think.
you know?
I think he's got a podcast too, actually.
Yeah, he does. Green Thumb.
Green Thumb.
Well, yeah, thanks for doing the Crossroads podcast.
Yeah. Thank
And
you for having me.
yeah, bro. I'll definitely share it in the next few days. I'm trying to get a little ahead of myself so that I'm, trying to stay consistent and have a few
No, I get
in
it.
the
I get it
chamber and be like da da da
because
da.
you gotta have those consistent releases and especially yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and eventually I'll have like a show type thing going on that's a little more like a live stream. But yeah, I'll stay in touch with you and keep you updated on what's up. And one day we'll get the family together and have a big hurrah, barbecue in the park and throw on a little kids concert.
That'd be awesome. I'd
All
look
right,
forward to
man.
it.
Sweet brother. Well, yeah. Send the family my love, man. Much love, dog.
Much love.
And I'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me, Jake.
Yeah, have a good night.
You too, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace.